Good morning, everybody. Let me start by asking you one question. Do you know the feeling of being rejected as a child? Well, I'm going to tell you my story of how I felt rejected as a child. But to do that, let me take you back 25 years back to my hometown, Kolkata. I was 5 years old, and my father tried to get me to the top schools of Kolkata. And guess what? I was rejected. For the first years, there were interviews, but after that, I couldn't even make it to the interviews. My father tried to contact every contact that he had to get me to a good school. And guess what? The result was negative. I would cry, I would weep, but I did not know what to do. So I went to my father and I asked him, why is it so hard to get into a school? And he replied to me, to get to a good school, you need connections. Connections. What we call today network or networking. I heard this term for 3 years, and after that, one fine day, I went to my father and I asked him, Dad, when will we finally have connections? He didn't have an answer for me, and I knew I have to find my own answers. My life took major turns, and for the last 6 years, I'm living in this city. Any idea where this is? Amsterdam. Now, I came to Amsterdam in 2010, at the peak of financial crisis, where there were hardly jobs available, where the financial market was crashing. I saw all my peers trying to network, and the best available resource for them was adding everybody on social medias, like LinkedIn. Add them, and the moment they accept it, send a message. Dear sir, will you help me find a job? Do you think they got any response? Almost no. And the other thing I saw all my peers do were attend networking events. Now, I'm not against networking events, but can you imagine, you are in a room with 50 people, and you want to talk to all of them, and you have only 2 hours. Would you be able to give any form of individual attention to anybody? Or would anybody be able to give you any individual attention? I refused to be part of this aggressive and impersonal methods of networking. However, I often got this compliment that I am good at networking. And I did not know what am I doing that I'm good at networking. So I sat down and wrote down on a piece of paper what could be the things that I'm doing that are good qualities of a networker. And today, I'm here to tell you those stories. What are the secrets and art of networking that will give you the edge when you try to network with your networks? Now, the first thing for networking you have to remember is you have to know your self-worth. Now, you have to remember nobody will want to network with you because you're a nice person. They will want to network with you because they see a value add in you. You might be wondering, I'm a student, and what a value add can I do to the CEO of a company? Well, trust me, friends, you can. Networking is like a firm handshake between two equals. When you network with anybody, you need to feel confident, proud, and passionate, but not arrogant. Your ambition, your 24-karat ambition, your fire in your belly will make you stand out, and people will see the added value of having you in their network. If you still don't know what is that value add that you have that makes you stand out from your peers, then you can never be a good networker. The first step to everything starts with understanding your own self-worth. Once you have understood and identified your self-worth and you're ready to take on the world, let me tell you, there are 3 golden rules on how you can approach a person when you meet them and make them your network. The first one, make an impression. When you meet people, outside your work, outside your college, do you think when they go home they will remember you? Have you done anything that will make them remember you after 7 days even? If you have, then you have created that impression that you should do to your network. Now let me tell you about one of my favorite movies. The movie name is Luck by Chance. Have you all seen it? Now there is a particular scene in that movie where this aspiring actor Farhan Akhtar meets the yesteryear actress Dimple Kapadia. Now when you meet such a beautiful actress, you tend to say that's cliched, that how beautiful you are, I'm a big fan. Instead, he goes and says, I'm in this world because of you. She is puzzled, what do you mean? And he further continues, my parents on their first date saw your movie and it was so romantic that they fell in love, they got married and had me. Now the story unfolds in this way that after months and weeks, this particular actress is responsible for shortlisting actors for a particular movie. And she sees this photograph of this guy. She doesn't remember this guy, she doesn't remember this conversation, but there was something about this guy that makes her shortlist this guy. He made that impression. Even if it was 5 seconds, he made that impression. Now in real life, if you go up to a CEO of a company and tell her that I'm in this world because of you, might not be the most effective way. However, I recommend you to talk about your passion, about your ambition and your aspiration. These are your true feelings that will make you stand out, that will make you unique. Always see making impression as, imagine yourself in a big McDonald's queue where everybody is ordering the same hamburger. Everybody is ordering the same hamburger, they get a receipt and 5 minutes later the burger is ready. When your burger is ready, you have lost the receipt. Will the lady at the counter still remember you? Did you make an impression when you bought the hamburger? You had 30 seconds. Could you have said something to her, something funny, something catchy, that she remembered you in this big queue, and she would remember that you are the guy who ordered the hamburger and handed it over to you without even looking at the receipt. If you can do that, yes, you know how to make that first impression or make that impression. The second golden rule of networking is, it's okay to make mistakes. Now, I think we all come across people who pretend that they have never made any mistakes in their lives, right? Now, do you like those people? Then why pretend to be one? Nobody likes people who claim that they have never ever made mistakes in their lives. When you admit your mistakes, when you show your vulnerability, you are actually creating trust. It shows few things about you, that this man or this woman is human enough to make a mistake, is firm enough to admit it, and is confident that he or she will not repeat it. That's why he's presenting it to us. In speaking, we have a golden rule which says tragedy plus time is equal to comedy. So if something bad has happened to you or you made a mistake and you can present it to the person in front of you, you can actually make a joke out of that. And trust me, that will make your impression even stronger. The power of vulnerability is people connect with each other's struggle and failures much more than anything else. People find it easier to trust somebody who makes mistakes, admits it, and is willing to correct it. So when you are at a networking event, don't just talk about all the highs in your life, but believe me, feel confident to bring your underbellies. Show your vulnerability to the person in front of you. Imagine the same McDonald's queue, when you order the hamburger and you tell the lady, I'm looking forward to it because last time I ordered the burger, I dropped it on the floor and I couldn't eat it. Now she'll laugh at it, you'll have a giggling moment, and she'll probably remember you because you are the guy who dropped the hamburger yesterday. The third thing is listening. Now you may be the world's best storyteller, you may be an excellent verbose person. However, if you're a poor listener, you are not a good networker. Networking is a two-way street. It's platform where two people exchange ideas and thoughts. But if you are only talking and not listening to the other person, you are not making a good impression. Listening has many good aspects. First thing, you are building trust with the person when you're hearing his story. And the second thing is, you can get new ideas, new inspiration when you hear somebody else's story. How do you prove to your network that you have been listening to the story very attentively and not just hearing it? One simple rule. When you listen to somebody's story, ask them 2 good questions from the story and answer 1 good answer. What it shows is you are interested enough to ask the question, and when you answer it, it shows you are able to connect and identify with that person's story. When you have established these golden rules, I am sure you will be great at networking. You will be able to invite and woo your networks to collaborate with you. However, there's one last thing that I want to tell you about networking, and that is the desired outcome. Networking is like planting a tree. You have to sow the seed, you have to water it, you have to take care of it, and when it's big enough, it will bear its fruits. But you need to have patience for that. In the meantime, you need to invest trust. You need to invest honesty. If you don't do that, your tree will never grow. If you want quick fruits from that tree, will you be able to get it? No. It will only look that you are still juvenile or you're greedy. Another thing you need to remember is, not every tree will give you a mango, right? Different trees have different purposes, but you need them all. A lot of people say networking is not a good thing because I'm not able to find a job. Networking, in my opinion, is not just stipulated to finding a job. There will be 2 to 5% people in your network who have the potential or the capability to help you find a new job or career opportunity. However, there are other people in your network who will inspire you, who will give you new ideas, new dimensions that you didn't even know. I always keep 30% people in my network outside my immediate horizon. I have been working for a bank for 8 years, and I did not know that there is a life that exists outside banking industry. Only when I had networks outside that, when I networked with people who do things like speaking, I didn't know that can be a profession. I was able to identify my passion and rekindle this hobby into passion. When you have people outside your immediate horizon, you broaden your horizon. And in today's times, when 2 different worlds are coming together to form a new idea, you never know, this might be the most valuable network that you have today. My request, do not use networking just for a job change or immediate business requirement. It's much broader than that. So friends, to sum it up, networking is being the right guy at the right place at the right time and do the right thing. The first step starts with identifying your own self-worth, what makes you stand out. When you're ready for that, you're ready to take on the world by showing your vulnerability, showing your listening skills, and most importantly, making that cracker of an impression that makes you remembered by everybody that you touch. The last thing you remember is the outcome. Have patience. Look beyond narrow perspective. Look beyond the immediate requirement of your job or career change. Networking is more than that. And friends, whether it's networking, whether it's your life, remember one thing, it's your attitude, not your aptitude, that define your altitude. Thank you.